Welcome to Good Morning Football, presented by Sprint. Tuesday, January 29th. My name is Kay, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brett, D'Angelo Hall.
D'Angelo, it's okay, let loose.
It's like a Sunday morning.
All right.
I feel like Adam is our fifth host.
Get up and start dancing. Last time I got up and slid across the floor,
Yes.
I still see that mark.
How are your knees feeling? Yeah, it's still there.
I think that is it, actually.
Yeah, that is the mark.
Knee slide.
Our stage manager not happy with you about that, or me for egging it on. Welcome to our show. It is Super Bowl week. You just saw Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It is beautiful down there in Atlanta. Some snow coming. We'll have the elements, everything you could want for an epic Super Bowl battle between Tom Brady and Jared Goff. Sean McVay up against Bill Belichick. We are here for all of it. It's time for the
Libla.
Yeah, let's kick it up with Aditi Kingabala. She's with the Patriots at their hotel. The Omar Ruiz is coming to us from the Rams hotel. Aditi, let's start with you here. The Patriots, let's be honest, they've changed their ways a little bit. Their offense is a bit more run-heavy. We've seen it evolve. They draft Sony Michel and so on. Do we expect more of the same this Sunday?
Well, especially what we have seen the last 4 weeks, Kay. Since week 16, nobody has run the ball more than the Patriots. In fact, they're running the ball 10 percentage points more than they were through the first 15 weeks of the season, 51.5% of the time. So what does that mean? That means that they are controlling the clock. Through the playoffs, the Patriots have had the ball for 41 minutes, an average of 41 minutes. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't have the ball, well, then he can't score. The goal here is to make sure that Jared Goff and the Rams don't have the ball as well. So what's working so well? I talked to running backs coach Ivan Fears yesterday for a while about this. He said that these three running backs, James White, Sony Michel, and Rex Burkhead, all work so well together. They all have defined roles. They all enjoy their roles. White, of course, is the coach in the backfield. He's the great pass catcher. Sony Michel, he's healthy. He's come on as of late. And Fears said to me, if we can run the ball the way we've been running the ball, we'll be in good shape. Now let's go out to Omar, who's with the Rams.
Hey, Aditi, Super Bowl week well underway for the Rams, taking in the spectacle of opening night, all part of Sean McVay's message to enjoy these experiences while staying focused on the football game on Sunday. We've noted the advantage the Patriots have in terms of Super Bowl experience, but the Rams feel they're equipped to handle this week too. We've spoken so much the last couple of years about McVay and his staff, what great teachers they are, implementing their systems to the point where each player knows on every play why that play worked or didn't work. It's allowed them to calmly and confidently make those in-game adjustments. If they're able to do that in the heat of the moment of a game, then certainly they feel confident that they can handle all the potential distractions and obligations they'll be facing this week in Super Bowl week as they begin at some point to start to narrow their focus towards Sunday.
Thanks so much, Omar. And to Aditi, of course, some of the distractions are already over with. And the biggest distraction is probably the thing that we loved most so far this week, and that was Super Bowl opening night, kicking everything off with a bang down in Atlanta. Let's hear from the quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Jared Goff. They were with our guy, Chris Rose.
All right, Tom, 17 years ago, you were actually in this sort of chair. 24 years old, ready to take on the Los Angeles Rams. What sort of advice would you give this guy as he gets ready to take on the big bad Patriots?
I'm not giving him any advice. Crazy. They got a great team. I got to go against that guy all night, so that's what I'm concerned about. And I know how great of a player he is. They got a great defense, best D-line in the league, a couple of the best interceptors probably ever played in this game. So I got my work cut out for me.
Jared, you guys grew up about 40 miles from one another in Northern California. You were 7 when Tom won his first Super Bowl. Do you even remember that one?
To be honest, I don't. No, I was too young. I probably wasn't into football at that point.
Love seeing those two sit next to each other. Jared Goff's grown up watching Tom Brady's achievements. Think about this. Goff was 5 years old when Brady was drafted, 7 when Brady won his first Super Bowl, 17 years later. Goff trying to stop that Tom Brady from winning his 6th ring. So, guys, how much confidence do you have in Jared Goff to be able to keep up with the GOAT, Tom Brady?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah?
A lot. Jared Goff is a closer. Mariano Rivera just got into the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest closers of all time. Jared Goff is a closer. If the Rams have a lead, I have no doubt that Jared Goff can close it out. Why? Because I saw it all season. 4th and 2 against the Seahawks. They're up on their own 42-yard line. McVay says, Goff, you take us there. On their own 42. gets the first down, puts the game away, and the team celebrates. How about against the Cowboys in the divisional round? Remember this one? This was the 3rd and 7 on their own 28 in the game. Goff closes it out, puts it away, the team celebrates. And then last week in overtime, 2nd down, Saints 45-yard line. Jared Goff needs to get a little more yards for Tyler Higbee to finally put Greg Zuerlein in. Look at this.
This is the play.
A blind throw. He would later tell our Michael Silver that I didn't even see Higbee. I just trusted he would be there. It's that 6-yard pass that makes it a 57-yard field goal as opposed to a 63-yard field goal and makes it doable for Greg Zuerlein. When Goff has the lead late, he gets the job done. I saw it against the Chiefs. I've seen it all season against the Seahawks. I have no doubt that this guy in a big spot can get it done. He looks Cali cool. He kind of seems aloof. His interviews doesn't really come across as this is a guy who's going to wow you in Jeopardy. But guess what?
He's confident.
He is confident. And he is smart. And he's calm. This is not too big a moment for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He is a closer.
Okay, so they'll play Enter Sandman when he gets out there. But I got to say, I gained a lot of confidence in him against the Saints because he did not fall apart at all. He actually came on towards the end like you're saying. That said, explain to me your confidence in him in the first, like if he has that first half that he had in New Orleans, they can't win this.
They hung with him, right? Like that defense stepped up and held him to 2 field goals, and that could have been an epic collapse. Gurley off his hands. If a lesser quarterback who didn't have that interior like fortitude would have went in the Superdome. Somehow Goff kept it afloat, said, okay, Todd Gurley, that's going to happen. Let's go. I thought it was almost impressive that after 13-0, they were still able to right the ship. I love what
But I'm asking you, can we have Mariano Rivera for 4 quarters? That's what it's going to take, right?
Yeah.
Or Kira Sedgwick.
I mean,
54-51 against the Chiefs, right? Like we've seen it.
On paper, yes, it's going to take that. But, I'm the reverse of what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying because we saw him go down 13, like, that can't happen. I'm almost like, it can happen. And he's shown us, like, hey, it doesn't matter. I have a lot of confidence in him. But it's not just because of Jared Goff. It's because of every other weapon around him. That defense is going to be the biggest weapon. Jared Goff isn't going out there covering any wide receivers on the Patriots. He's not trying to stop anybody on their team. His defense is trying to stop those guys. And you think about how bad this defense played during the regular season. And I always told people, as a player, it's almost like the NBA. In the NBA, no one plays defense. Come playoff time, we playing defense.
Slapping the floor.
We locking up. It's hard fouls, all that stuff.
Fourth quarter of the All-Star game, you're playing.
Yeah. In the regular season, you play. I mean, you play as hard as you can, but it doesn't quite have the same feel as the playoffs. It doesn't quite have that feel of a Super Bowl. Man, this defense of the Rams, 98 rushing yards allowed in the playoffs so far.
And that's Zeke Elliott, and that's
they've been limiting other teams' top receiver options. And so this team has really stepped it up. I think Wade's getting a lot out of those guys. I think those guys see that they can win a Super Bowl, and it's so attainable, and they're laying it on the line. Sue is doing what he's supposed to do. Everyone said, they aren't playing disciplined football. Aaron Donald just pass rushes every play. I saw in the playoffs him going in the gap he was supposed to go. Yeah. Sue doing the same thing. Brocker's doing the same thing. And I just feel like, yes, Jared Goff, I have all the confidence in the world in him. But this defense is going to help those guys out a lot.
It becomes a question of can Goff's best beat Brady's best? And this is what I'm supposed to be saying, Brady's got all the rings, and no, but I say yes too. I saw Nick Foles keep up with Brady. I saw Eli keep up with Brady twice. And I like that Omar was hitting on some of the pace talk. Like, there's a worst case scenario, I think, for the Rams. Sometimes you see these Super Bowls, and you know right away something's off. Like that second loss to the Giants for the Patriots, Brady took a safety with holding in the end zone. Peyton Manning had the snap go over his head, and they both end up losing. The worst case scenario by far for the Rams is the Patriots start with the ball and just start marching. Just marching like they did the last 2 games, and it's that cannonball to the stomach. It's weird. Like when you win the toss, teams almost always defer. I think the Rams should absolutely take the ball and set the pace. And Jared Goff set up, like, here's what I'm doing. I'm not playing Brady's game. I'm Devlin this, Sony Michel this. We're going to go 4 wide and just start chucking it, and we're going to score first. I think he can, especially if they set the pace. If I'm a Rams fan, I'm terrified of the running game in the first 5 minutes of the game. I feel like we can lose it then.
Yeah, 2 totally different styles are going to be going on in the Super Bowl 53. This is where I get called a Rams hater because I'm simply pointing out the other side. We've seen bad Goff. Like, as great as Goff has been.
The Bears.
So why is there no concern that on the biggest stage against the best defensive-minded coach, or just the best coach in general, Bill Belichick, Jared Goff won't have a 4-interception Bears game, 2 fumbles, Eagles game.
But for me, a lot of the mistakes that we saw from Jared Goff weren't necessarily, the defense really tricked him and, he's making this mistake. It was just Jared Goff not trusting the process.
Okay.
It was him not trusting his guys. And, having Todd Gurley right here that he's normally checks the ball down to and Todd makes a great play. He wasn't doing that in those mad stretches. He was going for that big
Can I put you on the spot here? You play with a quarterback who gets scrutinized a lot for his primetime inabilities, and Kirk Cousins. When you would be in the locker room before a big game, did you ever sense that Cousins maybe didn't have it? Like, is there something intangible that we don't know?
I never felt like Kirk wasn't going to show up. But I did feel like Kirk was always trying to be Tom Brady, trying to be Aaron Rodgers.
How so?
And in some of those situations, like I was saying with bad Jared Goff, instead of taking the routine play, the simple play, the easy play, you want to make the big play. It's a primetime game, hero ball. Yeah, I want to launch it downfield as far as I can. I want to get it to Brandon Cooks. You saw New England take away Tyreek Hill by double covering him, right? I'm pretty sure they know how explosive Brandon Cooks is. They probably know no one on their team can really run step for step with him because he was in that locker room last year, so they know firsthand he's not going to surprise anyone. I can see them doubling him, and I can also see Jared Goff wanting to force him the ball, throwing interceptions that way. If he just plays within himself, listens to his coach, who will be in that headset, and takes the check down and takes what they give him, I think he has a chance. I really do. I think he has a chance. But like you said, Kay, we have seen bad Jared Goff. And when it's bad, it's really bad.
Yeah.